All right, back here on the Yaffee program, final segment of the show on News Talk 770 AM, 92.5 FM, WVNN. We'll get to the rewind in a moment. Do want to tell you real quick about a great new sponsor of the show, my good friends at VIP Care, which is primary care with a heart for seniors. If you're listening right now and you're 65 or older, or maybe you have a family member who is that you're helping take care of, I understand it can be tough dealing with Medicare. It can be tough sometimes dealing with the way our healthcare system is today. I get it. That's why VIP Care exists. It's a local clinics designed for your comfort. With same-day appointments, more time with your doctor, and a team of Medicare experts, you get the care you need so you can enjoy life. Now, if you want to find a clinic near you, and there are locations across North and Central Alabama, go to the website right now, getvipcare.com, getvipcare.com. They don't just treat illnesses and symptoms. They find out what's causing them. Their doctors listen, ask questions, and work with you to create a care plan that fits your needs. Sounds great. So if you have a family member or maybe you yourself, you're 65 and older and trying to navigate this healthcare system, go to getvipcare.com. Make an appointment today. And when you do, let them know Yaffee was the one who sent you. All right, let's do it. Let's end the show with the Yaffee program rewind. That time of the show where I remind you if you missed any of it live, well, the podcast will be up anywhere you get your podcasts, YouTube podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Amazon, wherever you get them, you can find it there. Just go to our website, WVNN.com, or download the WVNN app. So the first segment of the show, at the top of the show, I asked this question again, main question, what the hell is wrong with us? We were talking about some of the comments saying good riddance to Lindsey Graham, why we're celebrating death. I don't understand. But we also have these threats, not just against members of Congress, but also Supreme Court justices, to the fact that they're asking Congress for more money, funding for security. So two members of the Supreme Court spoke in front of the Senate yesterday. It was Amy Coney Barrett and Elena Kagan. Going to play the Amy Coney Barrett cut for me.
When threats to my life were particularly intense a few years ago, around the time of the Dobbs leak, my security detail sent me home with a bulletproof vest, and I carried it into my house, put it into my bedroom, dropped it down on a table, turned around, and my 12-year-old son was standing in the doorway of my bedroom, and he wanted to know what it was and why I had it, and I didn't know how to respond. Maybe I lack imagination, but I didn't expect that performing this service was going to put me in the position of explaining to my children what a bulletproof vest was and why I had to wear one. Many of us, me included, have received threatening, anonymous deliveries designed to intimidate and harass us.
So there you go. Pretty sad state of affairs in our country. So we talked about that at the beginning of the show. The podcast is up. We also have the Alabama bullet points, the top stories from around the state. One of the stories I had is that U.S. Senator Katie Britt attended the swearing-in ceremony of Lindsey Graham's sister, Darlene, as she has been appointed to that position. So we had that in the bullet points. Then we spoke with Congressman Barry Moore. He is running for the U.S. Senate. As you know, we talked about a lot of different things with him, all of the current issues. If you missed that interview, I'm sure I'll write about some of it at yellowhammernews.com. But the podcast will be up on the website, WVNN.com. I also talked about Tuberville, who is continuing to talk about the threat of radical Islamism. So we had a good conversation about that. I played some cuts. You can check that out on the podcast. Then, yes, we talked about this situation with ICE, as an ICE agent killed someone in Maine. They say it was because he was using the car, a threat to public safety. So they had paused traffic stops. ICE had paused that type of thing for ICE agents, traffic stops. And Trump says no, he wants them to go back to doing traffic stops. And Tom Homan, who was Trump's border czar, did talk about this a little bit yesterday. Play the Tom Homan cut for me.
I talked to the ICE director last night. There's a schedule for distribution. Right now they're in the middle of train to trainer. I didn't ask for the deployment schedule, but he says he has a deployment schedule. And as soon as the train to trainer is done, the trainers will get the cameras and they'll deploy as quick as possible. I'm confident they're going to get back to their policy of vehicle stops. But they're doing, what they believe is a necessary short-term pause just to look at it and make sure everything's good. I don't know the specifics of these agents that are involved, but it's under investigation, and we'll find out how the investigation lands. We'll let the investigation play out, and where it lands, it lands. If officers acted inappropriately or illegally, they'll be held accountable, just like they were in Minnesota.
All right, so we talked about that earlier on in the show. The podcast is up. Then, yes, the daylight savings time debate, as members of the Alabama congressional delegation voted to keep daylight savings time permanent. Alabama has a law on that as well, but it has to pass the Senate. Most likely, it's not going to pass the Senate. I feel like this is one of those issues where you're never going to be able to make everyone happy, because the fact of the matter is days get shorter parts of the year. That's just, no matter what we do, that's the reality. I can't believe we still are debating this issue. We have What's Trending earlier on as well. Check out the podcast of that. Thanks to Walker for producing today. Thanks to you for listening. The Vince Show is coming up next, and I'll be back tomorrow at the same time. See you then.
You're listening to Yaffee on WVNN.
Scrolling with Haley. Join Haley Caronia as she scrolls through the biggest headlines.
If you haven't watched this show before, we do blind reactions. I have not seen these videos, so I am seeing them for the first time with all of you. We're going to implement the tinfoil hat time segments and all the stuff you know and love. And I'm going to finish the show and answer some of your questions. Someone asked me what made you get into podcasting, and I was producing podcasts for other people. And I was like, I could do this for myself, and here I am.
Scrolling with Haley. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
Scrolling with Haley.
I am Haley Caronia. I scroll with the homies here in the live chat because there's a lot to scroll through on X, on Instagram, on TikTok.
Cutting through the clutter, one hot take at a time.
Love seeing you all in the chat before the show. I try to jump in just a few minutes before to say hello. I love the chat interaction. Thank you for helping. But I do it to get all of the videos and all of the content that you won't find anywhere else.
Scrolling with Haley.
Just search that up and I will be there.
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.